Hey guys, welcome to Life After the Cover Save. Let me just introduce my two buddies and let me tell you what episode it is. 336. And I'm with Travis, the Muppet Hitman,
Hot times in the city.
and Blake, the Fallout King.
Hey guys, good to be here, as always.
As always. Oh man, it feels like a long time since we've recorded, because it probably has been.
But it's going to feel like the exact same amount of time for you, the listener.
Yeah,
It's
the
close
beauty.
to, yeah, pretty close to the same amount of time. I have, or we have actually, I'm sorry, I'm a little slow this morning. We have a topic for you today. And this is where me and maybe Travis, I'm not sure if he's ready for this, we're going to be asking Blake the questions that we got from Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, finally.
It's finally going to happen. And, I'm sure he's really chomping at the bit to answer these questions.
The embargo has lifted.
Yep.
We can now legally talk about our appearance on the independent characters without any
Repercussions.
Legal ramifications.
difficult, conversations that might need to be had with legal. Hold on. I'm being handed something right now.
Okay.
Looks like it is a receipt from the UPS store. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Important.
I had to ship my CPAP off to Ohio to get fixed because
Ohio, skibbity.
my insurance sucks. Well,
Yeah,
because
dude.
all insurance sucks.
Kind
Dude,
of.
not mine, brother.
Mine was pretty fast. When I asked for a CPAP, it came like that.
I got that insurance that, the presidents have. You know what I'm saying? The good
You
stuff.
got that government insurance, dude.
Shoot.
Can't get that kind of stuff in private sector.
Mm-mm. You guys don't deserve Kaiser. Yeah, we got that topic. You know what? I put together a small presentation about my hobby progress.
Oh, nice.
And we do have the reviews to read.
Mm-hmm. But because I know I haven't. Has Travis played any games?
I was supposed to.
No,
Oh yeah,
you did.
I did play some game.
I'm
Listen,
just saying you did. I don't remember.
Time is weird, dude.
He played with his friends with the.
Yeah, I actually I threw down against Grey Knights, which had not seen in this edition. Oh, to be fair, I haven't seen most armies in this edition because I have a very small, play group that I'm playing against. Which that's how a lot of us experience the games. I found the Grey Knights to be exceptionally frustrating to play against.
Why?
It really was one of their stratagems that gave me a lot of problems. First off, I'm not 100% sure how the reserves system worked. It felt like maybe there was too much stuff in reserves at the beginning of the game, but I'm not going to read the rules and try to figure that out because I don't do that. Well, because I'm not gonna null deploy with my armies. So why should I learn how that is?
But the thing is,
why should you learn the rules for a game that you're investing a lot of time and money into?
Listen, the thing is, Travis could go to the rule book and look at the rules for that. But the codex could have a different set of rules that allow him to do something different.
And then the facts and then the rules updates could all be different. So listen, it didn't look legal to me, but who am I to judge?
You could have been like, that seems like a lot of things in reserve.
Yeah, basically had one unit foot guys and one tall robot like on the table, and everything else was in reserve. So I'm
You
like,
should have pressed him. You should have pressed him.
well, this wasn't a tournament. I'm not gonna fault them. So you know, it was like okay. I was able to kill that robot that was on the table turn one. I was playing Eldar. He was playing Grey Knights.
Now we're talking 40K.
But the difficulty, like I think, but my Eldar performed very well. It was a pretty close game until the end when it wasn't. How these things always are. I was actually like the first 3 turns. I was ahead in points. But there is a stratagem they have that when you move within 9 inches of a unit, they can twinkle out of existence and go back into reserves. And that stratagem kind of completely nullified. I was able to like wipe 1 unit with my avatar, and then my avatar didn't do anything for the rest of the game, because every time I got him within 9 inches of an enemy, bloop, they would just disappear.
And they're all firstborn too.
These were all 3D printed, so
then they're
it doesn't even matter. They're
freeborn.
They're fourthborn.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
So they actually looked pretty beefy because they were like, you know, 3D printed sculpts and all that sort of stuff. Which, you know, listen, it's not something I would do, is 3D print a whole army, but I'm not gonna, you know, I don't really know what my opinion is. I feel like the future is going to be that we're going to see that a lot more.
I think that I will print out an army later, but not yet, because I don't think we're quite there yet. But we're getting real close.
Yeah. Here's the thing: these looked pretty good, but they didn't look 100%. If that makes sense. It's
well, I'm gonna do this thing called the Ravaged Stars, where it's all just
chaos.
It's all not chaos.
Yeah.
You know, I think I can 3D print that. Are those 3D printed?
No.
I can't remember. Oh, okay.
He sends them to you. He 3D prints them and sends them to you.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they are 3D printed, but you don't have to do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
They come in a big box,
nice.
lots of boxes. But yeah, it was interesting. It was just that it's like sometimes one rule could kind of like really frustrate you, and that rule. So I mean, you have to play around it, you know, like try and get him to use the stratagem. What are you guys waving at?
It's the infernal puppet.
We're doing the puppet. Remember the puppet?
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
It seems to me you'd have to like. It seems like you'd really have your hands full trying to like cut up the board in a way that when he transports, he'll be transporting into another bad spot.
No, he's going into reserve. He's going
into reserves.
Yeah, he goes into, so he's just going off the board, and then he on his turn gets to decide where he's going to come back in. And the thing is, with Eldar, I've seen it done like with orcs, where you could just spread out and make it so that the mother trucker can't deep strike anywhere on the board. So it's like, oh, go into your reserves and see. But with something like Eldar, I just don't have the body count. You know, my army's already so small and so elite. But so are the Grey Knights. Essentially, how I think you have to play against that is you have to get him to make the wrong choice on which unit he's going to do that with. You know, you have to, you know, pretend like you want to attack this unit, make him think, okay, I'm going to get rid of that. It's like, haha, I actually wanted to attack this unit. But it was
objectives too.
It was
play the objectives also.
No.
You know,
yeah, there's
no,
a lot.
okay,
there's a lot going on.
Never mind.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, you almost have to like do half one way and half the other way, so that even though he takes away one, the other one's going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
A gambit, if you will.
Come on, me.
A queen's gambit.
But I mean, what one problem is like I kind of over committed to one corner where his terminators were, and I ended up like winning that corner and wiping it. But since he's so maneuverable, he was able to kind of like go everywhere else on the board. And
Gotcha.
and then as I tried to get out of that corner, he would teleport, and he eventually went back over to that corner. So it was frustrating. But
I'll bet.
What a game. What a game. You got another game. You got games coming up soon too. Of course.
Yeah.
Old World though.
I got a big Old World
campaign
weekend planned with friend of the show, Tom of Napa.
Oh, Tom of Napa. Oh. Great wine, great cheese, charcuteries. You're really in for a treat, brother.
Should be wonderful.
Heck yeah, dude. Tom's a great guy.
Yeah, I haven't played any Warhammer. No games for me. You got games coming up though.
No games for me, but I got games coming up.
Me and Ed were supposed to play 40K, but I got a weird stomach bug, and it didn't happen.
It's all right, dude.
Well, we know what would have happened anyway.
I would have lost.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying
I don't
we
know.
I'm not going to say.
I wasn't going to be playing Tau. I was going to be playing Orcs.
Oof. Classic Necrons versus Orcs.
A tale as old as time.
All right, well, that's games played, everybody. Good games. Blake, what game are you gonna be playing soon?
I'm gonna be doing a learning game of Necromunda.
It's a lot to learn.
Wow. I'm gonna be playing I hope you know how to play the game, because I'm gonna be relying on you.
Yeah, be sure.
Teach me.
That's why we have rule books.
Gotta be sure you pass that bottle check, dude.
I don't have a rule book. I don't have one. So
yeah, they're online, brother.
Yeah,
but of every single book in the game.
I don't read rule books that way. I can only read a rule book if it's in my hands. Unfortunately.
Weird.
Oh boy,
it's gonna
be tough. I don't know.
No, that's not true. You can read a book online.
Oh no, I can't.
That's the whole thing. You guys just said that the beauty of 40K now is everything's on your phone.
But I'm not reading a whole rule book. I'm just looking at a little unit insert.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, all right, page 1, movement, blah blah. Here's all the rules for movement. It's not like that on your phone, Blake. Come on. You
have to read.
Come on, man. It's not that way.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm going to read the rules again, but
please. That's all I'm asking.
A little bit.
That's all I'm asking. Blake.
Do you know what you should do? You should ask Josh for the video that he produced for his campaign that no one watched, but that basically broke down how to play Necromunda in 10 minutes.
Oh, dude. I'm going to message him right now.
Oh, yeah, you do that. Okay. Well, I was about to do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Let's all do it at the very same time. 1, 2.
I gotta find him. Hold on. His name is Josh.
I'm not gonna do it. I don't even know where my phone is.
Hey, dude.
Video.
Hey, dude. I hear
video.
Hey, dude. How's it going?
A
video.
The rules
about
of Necromunda.
No, I'm gonna say it different than.
Hey, dude. Blake and Ed are gonna be messaging you right now. I'm gonna need you to ignore them. Okay. As a personal favor to me.
Got a link.
Love.
Campaign.
Travis. Hugs and kisses.
For that.
Do you
Hugs and kisses.
Tamale.
There we go. Sent.
Tamale.
All right. What did you say? Tamale?
Don't worry about it.
That's pretty funny. If you did.
Got a link for that hot tamale. That's what I said.
Okay. Got All right.
It's 7:30 in the morning, and immediately just bombarded.
Did you actually send something, Travis?
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. He's gonna be like, "What?
What's going on here?"
And that's what the fans are doing right now. They're like, "What am I listening to?" That's life after the cover say, baby.
You
That's
listen
how we
to
do it.
life after the cover save, not before, not during,
Mm-mm.
but after
But after.
the cover save. The cover save used to be
Meaningful.
something, yeah, meaneful. Now
Does-
it's
No, it
just
doesn't mean anything.
it modifies your normal save.
That's, I mean, it's simplified.
It's much simpler. Yeah.
Do you remember when you used
And
to go to
essentially,
ground?
that's what the cover save was. It's like you could either take the cover save or take your armor save,
Yeah,
whichever one's better. Well, that's weird.
yeah. Just add. Just add.
Although I do like an old world. You're all like, okay, you have attacked me and wounded me. I'm now going to make 7 attempts to save it.
Well, I can't do that. You can
It's
do that.
3, right?
It's 3. Yeah.
It's
you get an armor save,
ward
you
save,
get a ward
regen.
save, then you get a regen save.
That's right. But sometimes some of those things get canceled out.
Sometimes
So,
I do.
Yeah. Certain weapons and stuff can cancel out one of them. So then you're down to 2
Then
rolls.
you're down to 2. But you know what? You can never cancel the ward save.
That's the beauty.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the beauty of the
it.
wards.
That's right, buddy. Okay.
Should I read these reviews?
Yeah, I was
Do you
gonna
want to do
say.
hobby progress?
I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Well, we got hobby progress, and we got this awesome Grill and
question.
Blake. It's called Grill and Blake.
Grill and Blake. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's where Blake
me
talks about the grills that he wants to buy on Memorial Day instead of Labor Day because the sales are probably better.
There wasn't a big selection, let me tell you that.
Did you buy one?
It's the end
No,
of
I
the
didn't.
season. You know?
I didn't.
Okay.
Here we got a 5-star review from Sons of Storm. Moose Jaw is right.
Oh.
Life is always sweeter. You make a lot of our morning drives to work a whole lot better. Keep up the good work. From Timro 18, lesbian officer. Sure, this is weird. To my
That's the
beautifully,
review?
yeah,
That's the
no,
whole-
that's the title.
Oh,
and
that's
it's 5 stars.
Okay.
To my beautiful articulated friends of the interwebs who constantly remind myself it's okay to fart on someone's brushes and laugh when they put them in their mouth while painting, or take pride when a joke is about ball sacks. And sodomy, spelled wrong, have taken place. And you giggle till your balls shake. So men, keep up doing what you're doing. It is El Fantastico. P.S. I enjoy 40K as well.
So I think we did a bit, or probably Josh did a bit on when you know how people like to put brushes in their mouth to keep the tip. That someone was farting on someone's brushes, so when they lick the tip to get it,
so they get pink eye in their mouth.
They get pink eye in their mouth, dude. It's pretty funny. Actually, it's disgusting, but it's funny.
Chris Sids. That's Chris. Sudden infant death syndrome. Life is sweeter after LATCS. This podcast has made me laugh out loud more than any other out there. Hard to paint when you're laughing, though. Can't wait to see how this pod grows. That was a good, nice, sweet one.
Thank you.
Didn't get much further than where it started.
I mean, growth is a weird word, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And these are all Canada, by the way. This is a Canada outfit here.
Oh, that's why they're so nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
From Toronto, Craig, eh? Duck and cover. 5 stars.
Duck and cover.
If you want to listen to a serious podcast, all 40K all the time, this may not be for you. If you want to listen to a podcast that will probably make you laugh, then you might want to give this one a listen. They will cover everything from minis to video games to STIs. So wear your body condom and get ready for a ride. Thank you, Toronto Craig.
Don't you know?
Don't you? And then here is from Lankwool.
I'll never lose again.
Yeah. So funny. I'll admit that they don't always talk about 40K, but they take the off-topic train to a whole new level. But they are seriously the funniest podcast out there. And also, just a fair warning: if you get offended by a bunch of people who you don't know, say over the internet, this podcast it might not be for you.
I
Thank
don't know
you.
about the funniest podcast out there.
I mean, it's pretty
Maybe
good.
the funniest, gaming podcast. Maybe
Well,
Maybe
that was
at the
that
time.
was
At
that
the
was
time?
15 years ago when they wrote that one.
This is before even 10-minute podcasts.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could have been the funniest. At one point.
It could have
that's
been.
true. I mean, like in 2015, there wasn't a lot of
This was
humor in the
2010.
world.
This is 2010, buddy.
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
We
All
were
right.
the funniest.
Definitely the funniest podcast in 2010.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Mark Maron.
What are you gonna be laughing at Serial?
Yeah.
It's like that guy was
Last-
falsely accused of a murder. Maybe.
Well,
I
hey,
read it.
keep those reviews coming in, peoples.
So we had a new review, Blake.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Travis. I sent it to Travis
Oh,
on
like
Messenger.
right now?
Well, yeah, I figured we should read the newest one.
Huh.
Of course, Travis.
I sent it to you directly. On
You
Messenger.
sent it to me directly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like I think from the last episode.
Yeah, like Sajap Horwitz.
Ooh.
I apologize. I'm not familiar with this name. Sajap.
He's the one that sent us.
Sajap.
He's the one that sent us the tattoos and the dice.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, he's an excellent listener and
Tattoo
great
artist.
great
From
fan.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at this one's directed to you, Blake. Blake. It is all about the cards right now. Competitive 40K and casual. The WTC, the ITC, all tourneys in the world. They all use the mission cards. There are gazillions of events right now all over the world. Blake, I'm so sorry, but you are 100% wrong.
Okay, well, if Jap will say that, I'll listen to it. Because he's a cosmopolitan, continental European.
Yeah, yeah. I think the problem is, as Blake, is you were thinking of another time in 40K, but these the card systems, the seasons, that is 40K. There's no ITC, tournament, circuit missions. The cards are the missions.
Well, I don't know about that.
You want me to read the review again?
No, he did not say the tournaments use cards.
Yes.
But that's not saying that there are no missions.
Yeah, there could be primary missions that the ITC people are using, but they are in fact using the cards, which make the game.
They're specifically for the tournament. They're picking which cards are going to be used at that tournament.
I don't know.
We're all out of our league.
Well, no, I do know. That's literally what. No,
no, but Shazap said that they're using the cards. He didn't say in what capacity.
No, I've looked at the tournament packages.
Oh,
and it's like we're using this mission, this mission, and this mission. Now there are specific like rulings on the missions and stuff, but they're not making their own missions. They're like right now everything's Pariah Nexus. That's what the tournament scene is. Which I just got my Pariah Nexus pack. Cha-ching.
GW is happy about the Pariah Nexus sale.
What else is in the review, or is it just all for me?
I will. No, I mean that was the whole.
It was
it. Review.
It was just a message to say that you were wrong, Blake.
You know what? I accept that from him,
and that you should be playing. Yeah. P.S. What did it say? P.S. Travis, can you read that last part?
P.S.
I was only kidding.
Something about Blake playing. He needs to start playing what? Warhammer 40,000 again.
No,
P.S. Blake, stop talking about a game you don't play.
Oh
gosh.
No, dude, I'm on the internet. That's my whole thing. Okay, it's literally don't be on the internet. Is what you're saying. Yeah, good.
Awesome.
It's nice.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jap.
Thanks, Jap. Okay, Blake.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to share your presentation?
Do we want to talk about other hopper rockets?
Well, we have our challenges. Do you remember what your
My challenge was cleaning my hobby desk.
Yes, I remember that. Do you remember
Yeah,
what
that
your
was
commitment was, Travis?
I do not.
Okay, maybe I should
Okay.
start writing these down.
I
I'm
mean,
going to write them down for the future. I was going to finish the Troggoth, the big Troggoth for Cheyenne.
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hobby desk cleaning. Oh wow.
Hobby desk cleaning. Okay. That was my hobby progress because it counts.
Wow, that's your desk now? That's really nice.
Yeah, it's not. You like how many drawers there are?
Yeah, they're like really small.
Yeah.
You can't really fit much. Are those
Nope.
like paintbrush drawers?
No, those are just little drawers that you just like put little. You put like little furry guys in there that live there, and like you feed them.
Put some dice, maybe put some dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so here.
Hold on, wait. Before you change, there's this model by his right foot, and his sword is so big.
So big.
It's big.
That's really funny.
Okay, continue.
I like that.
Do you know what image I use as a reference?
Hero Quest.
Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer.
Oh, okay. It's cool. I like how his spear's like really short.
Dude, AI is stupid.
Man,
I like how this portion of the history of AI is just us mocking it.
but you know what? Overall, it's a very cool image. I think.
Oh yeah.
If you don't nitpick,
You know, really, it kind of looks like a Ossiarch Bone Reaper.
Too much flesh for a Bone Reaper.
Okay, so that was. I mean, I didn't want to like say I was going to do anything like big because I have this. That was my hobby desk. Look at that. Look at that.
Let me make my screen bigger. Hold on.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know how productive you can be in a space like. I mean,
Okay, like
you got a little space.
I even got my clippers.
Yeah.
I got my little mat. I got a little
yeah.
mug here. Here's Pit Lords. Yeah. There's a board underneath. Right. There's some buildings. There's a screwdriver. There's a little rubber chicken that you can put on your finger and fling them across the room.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, this is my space.
That's a real nice chair. To the right.
That one right here?
Yeah. It's got the giant X on it.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Oh, it came from me.
Continue. Oh, okay. Where did that come from?
Yard sale, probably.
That's the one chair I will stand up on to change a light bulb.
Yeah, it's sturdy.
Yeah, real sturdy, dude. That's what I need. I got some Teflon tape there for some reason. A Michael's bag.
Yeah, what Teflon tape? Use that for hobby? Oh, maybe your airbrush? Maybe when you
I don't remember.
Okay.
These okay, there's Fallout Factions right here. Then you can't even see it, but there's the Necromunda box. These drawers here are just full of old world chaos.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a little dice tower there. Here's some glue. So if you're not seeing this at home, this is serious.
Yeah, I know. I wish you guys could see this table because it's not even a big table.
You know,
I know
at the LATCS Patreon.
Yeah, the $3 tier let you see these. On your cutting board here. What are these? Your chaos models that you're working on? It looks like some knights, maybe.
Yeah, these are what was coming out of my case. This is when we played Old World together.
Gotcha.
So these knights don't fit. These knights are too big on the bases.
Right.
Yeah, and this is my grandma's case with board games in it. There's a nice tableware case. This whole table was given to me by a guy named Ed.
Yeah, I did give it to you.
So you can see more Ed in this than anything else.
I'd like to see what it looks like cleaned off.
Oh, Are you ready?
Oh, let's see how far you got. What if the next slide? That's the exact same
Is it just a
picture.
before or an after, or are there some stages?
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? I remember seeing a bonsai. And was it on this table when you sent the picture?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
The bonsai wasn't up.
Okay.
But that's, look at that.
Yeah, so
Dang.
we've gone through like just a big mess to like a bonsai table, a cardboard box,
With some Necromunda stuff in there.
So you're just working on
and
that
a
curve.
rule book and a notebook now.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there's
So,
only like 4 things on the table. That
you know,
can
I
easily-
wouldn't even call this a hobby space anymore.
Yeah.
It just looks like a table, a nice
Yeah.
clean table.
Well, I'm going to be building. I'm going to be building right here. I got a little mat to put down.
So is your plan now to like, you know, once you're done working on the project to put it away?
Maybe.
Sometimes
This is a good segment. I got to keep on.
Okay,
know.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to the before picture eventually.
Couple questions.
Excuse me.
First of all, did you hire this lady here to clean your table, or did
No,
you do it yourself?
That's just me, bro. That's just me feeling good.
Oh, this is you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the personification of a job well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second,
She's in a smart business suit
yeah.
and she's cleaning, baby.
Second, oh man, I forgot. Second, I was gonna say maybe we're gonna eat at this table now.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
you
mean,
should
this
do.
is where the learning games for Necromunda might take place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you
I
have
can
a
see
folding
that.
table?
I
Besides
have
the alpha?
I have an alpha table.
Okay. Do you want me to bring a regular fold? Because the games are smaller.
3x3.
Yeah. Do you have a 3x3 board?
I have a mat,
Okay.
courtesy of Frontline not courtesy, I bought it, FLG. Because Table War didn't have any 3x3s of that style I was looking for.
Interesting.
Fucking
The
Doug.
last thing is, don't you have a hobby room?
No, remember the electrical's out in there.
Oh yeah, it hasn't been fixed yet.
No,
that was like 2 years ago, dude.
Yeah, I know. Hey, but the rent's pretty good.
What about the skirmish room? Could that become a hobby room?
That is my home gym.
Oh, it changed.
Yeah, dude, I got a treadmill.
Well, that's where Jim lives.
Yeah, Jim. He uses the treadmill while I'm not there.
So wait, what about the other bedroom?
Oh, that's just the guest room.
Oh. What about where your computer is on the wall behind you, where there's also a nook?
Couldn't do it. I don't have it. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Then you can roll to the other side to paint.
Well, once the electrical's fixed, that'll be the dream.
Okay.
Hey, the landlord said they got to get. The landlord's feeling the squeeze. Might have to
2031, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
There's a loud sound right now.
I don't mind doing the work here. You see this little black rubber mat here? That's actually connected to a little white folding table over here. So I do have a place to build. Okay. But the problem was this started taking on more and more projects. So so I do have a space to actually do some hobby over here, but is what it is. So I accomplished my hobby goal.
Nice.
I feel good. This feels good. We got new leaves on the bonsai. We're ready for the new basho. Heck yeah, dude.
Wow.
What about you, Ed?
Well, as for me, I said I was going to paint a Troggoth.
I know that's what you said.
Yeah, dude, because that's what I said I was going to do.
But did you?
I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let me present this screen here. I'm going to share it, and then I'm going to start my slideshow, dude.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Is that the one?
So this is a one. This is the one that's he has a big rock club in his hand, and
That's
there's
It's
a
a
spider.
stalagmite or
Yeah,
stalactite. We don't know because
we
it's
don't
been
know.
broken off the
Yeah,
cavern wall.
there's a spider dangling from it, and he's
I
kind of
say
Very
it's
looking
cool.
at
tight.
it.
I say it's tight.
I'm most impressed with the big centipede creature that the Troggoth is holding. The centipede looks real nice. Like looks like, is that like black lining that you did? Is that an oil wash? Like it has a real crisp look to it, man.
No, I didn't do any black lining on it. It's just contrast paints.
Wow.
Contrast paint on the scales, the blue scales, the bluish scales,
Uh-huh.
and then the green on the side is regular Vallejo paint in layers.
I like all his barnacles.
Yeah, he has like a lot of barnacles on him. There's a lot of little details on this thing, and Cheyenne's getting a scream of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Are you basing them for him, or is he doing that?
He's doing all the basing. That's why I didn't worry about the basing. But
Yeah, this chunk of Troggoths looking good.
yeah. So not only did I finish this Troggoth,
Oh, geez.
but I finished an orc vehicle in a couple days at work. So here we go. Let's see what this orc vehicle looks like. So this is a scrap jet.
Now, what is a scrap jet? I don't understand what this is.
So basically, it's a vehicle like a car. One of their, because they have like a new line of cars. I think there's like 5 different cars.
Okay.
There's one that's like a shoots squigs. There's one that shoots bullets. There's this thing, and there's like a race car that like shoots electricity, I think, and maybe teleports. So this is basically a plane that's been repurposed, that's can't fly anymore. It's been repurposed into like a gun rig to drive around in real fast.
Yeah, they kind of like took the the engine off a plane, slapped some wheels on the
Wheels on it.
side, and now it's a car.
Yeah.
It's a great looking vehicle. I really like this the line of the smaller, well, quote unquote smaller orc vehicles where they're like, they're not trucks. They're like just vehicles, but I
Mad
think
Max vehicles.
they look fantastic.
Yeah, they
And
took
great
like
job on this one. Yeah,
they took
Love the
the
bomber
buggy,
jacket.
maybe. Remember the buggy?
I do remember buggies. Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of like turned the buggy into different versions that you can buy and model.
I love the bomber jacket. He's
Yeah, I
our
think
styling orc.
bomber jacket's good. On the base, I made it to where if you look under the treads,
Yeah.
it looks a little bit like more wet, like it just smushed out.
just tore it up.
He compacted the soil, and then there's now like puddles.
Peeled
Nice.
out, man.
Yeah. So
It's top end hobby there.
yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
It'd only be better if you would do it on that table I posted. You know,
Oh yeah, you want me to start going over your house and hobbying?
just painting my stuff. Yeah.
Oh well, no, that's not happening. Sorry, I got my own stuff to paint now, dude. I'm a hobbyman.
Hobbyman. Say Ben. What about you, Travis? Did you get some
Yeah,
hobby done?
I don't remember what I said I was going to do, but I've been doing a lot. I'm just going to showcase just a few things. So this is an old world vampire count Vargulf in metal, which I snagged off eBay, like unassembled. It was just like in a bag. Like it was, I got a smoking deal on it, but it's got a nice heft to it. Kicked out the airbrush. Like I really leveled up my airbrushing. Like I figured out, I started, do you know what? I started using a pre-made thinner for my paints, and that like sent me into a new level. And I finally really figured out how to do the backwash in there to really kind of clean out the chamber in between paints. And like doing those two things, I wasn't getting any dry tip, and this thing just painted up super quick, and I loved how he turned out. He's going to be a fun addition. And speaking of SC Josh of the independent characters, when I was up there this summer, I snagged a box of these Blood Knights from him, and I finally got the bases I needed to assemble these bad boys. Now, the assembly work on these was not very fun. Specifically, there's 3 of the models where they're holding the reins, and I had just so much trouble like lining those up and waiting for the glue to dry. I was using plastic glue, but very very frustrating. 2 of them were very very frustrating, and then the third one, the reins had nice easy little pegs where it lined up perfectly, and I'm like, why didn't all the reins have these pegs on them? So a little bit frustrated with the CAD cuts on these, but I mean, they are just spectacular models.
Beautiful.
And it was a little hard to rank them up. Like you couldn't just line them up. I don't know if you could tell, but I had to kind of stagger, and I had
Yeah.
to glue them on their base one by one to make sure that they would like all line up. But all that being said, they lined up great, and it's going to be a spectacular unit on the table. A great addition to my vampire counts.
Heck yeah, dude.
Nice. All right, so here we go. Accountability, dude. I'm typing it in right now, as you can probably hear.
Yeah.
Blake.
I'm gonna build my. I'm gonna have my Necromunda starting squad build.
Build Necromunda starting
I mean,
squad.
a lot of several are built already, but I have quite a bit to build still.
Listen,
to make
hobby's
10.
hobby. It could have been one. You were going to build one guy. I'd accept it. Travis.
So last night I built the Leviathan box Space Marine kill team. It's very small. It's 5 Terminators, 5 Primaris, and 2 characters.
Mhm.
But I am going to try and get those painted in a Space Wolf regalia before
big.
our next recording. At least I'm
So-
going to be very far along the process.
So when you say kill team, you mean combat patrol,
I mean
Yeah.
combat patrol.
and
That's what I meant.
you're going to paint the whole combat patrol.
Yeah, it's 12 models, man.
Yeah, but it's.
Just let him set himself up for failure.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I just
That's what I'm saying.
for me, it seems like a lot. You don't want to just be like, I'm going to finish painting the Terminators or do the Librarian. Or, you're going to say the whole thing. Good
Whole
job,
thing, start to
Travis.
finish.
You know what? Aim high.
Brave.
But here's the thing: I've never painted a Space Marine. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Is it
Well,
faster? Is
you
it
know what?
slower?
It could be both. It's kind
exactly.
of weird. It depends on how far you want to go into blending and detailing and everything. But they could be some of the fastest things to print, especially if you had like the what is it? If they had their base, whatever their base color is, if they have it in a rattle can, you're already halfway.
Well, I got the 3 colors that are like the Space Marine colors. I got them in normal pots, and I got them in the air pots. So I'm going to be able to shoot it through my airbrush.
They do
Airpod,
So
baby.
yeah, so it I think they're going to paint up pretty quick. But I mean, granted, I probably won't have all the detail worked on it, but they're going to be pretty far along.
You would
in a
think
pretty short.
Progress
you
is
would think
progress.
that GW would at least put a dropper bottle on their AirPods. You know what I
Would be
mean?
nice.
You think that at least they'd be like, you know what? Let's introduce this dropper bottle in our AirPods.
I have some pipettes I could use or something.
I think there are adapters now that people sell on Etsy, or they might make.
Oh,
that
to
they
put
go-
just like you take off the cap and you put
Yeah.
a bottle. Ooh, that's
Yeah,
smart. I like
think
that.
they're-
It would be nice if it was in a dropper bottle, especially for the airbrush use. But
Okay, so Travis said Leviathan. I've got the last Trogoth.
The last.
It's
Trogoth.
another big guy with a lot of detail. He's holding like a rock hammer, something like that. And he's got some magical thing hanging from his neck. So yeah, we got our commitments, and they're in on paper.
About time
Okay.
you get your act together.
Well, I mean, I'm good about remembering what I did,
Me too.
and I don't know if you're as good as I am, Blake. And I know that Travis has in the past. He's remembered things,
Yeah.
but I think the problem
There was a little bit of a longer space between the last recording and this recording.
I don't
And
even
to
think
tell you
it's
the
that.
truth, I don't think our last recording has released yet. I have no idea what I said, what happened,
Oh yeah.
or anything.
The other thing is, Blake, the problem that Travis has, maybe
He's
that we
always
don't have,
hobbying.
is he's always hobbying. So he's
Always
working on
be
a lot of
hobbying.
projects all the time. So I can understand why you get confused when you're doing a bunch.
I'm
of
doing
projects.
some hobby every day, and
Yeah,
it's,
every day.
and I have hobby ADD. Like I bounce around a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also have a bunch of Necron stuff I'm building that I didn't even talk about. You know,
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, because we gotta get to Blake now.
We got to get to my questions.
All right. So
How many questions are there?
we'll figure it out, dude.
there's 400 questions.
Oh,
Yep. Are you ready?
yeah, give it to me.
All right. Okay. So, hey guys, this is Carl from the Independent Characters,
Hey, Carl.
and I'm going
Glad
to
to be here.
introduce. Yeah, hey Blake, I'm going to introduce you as the host of a show called Life After the Cover Saves. Can you just tell us what you're currently playing and enjoying?
You know what, Carl? I have a deep distrust and hatred for the company. But I've been doing. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat.
Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna cry right now? Are you
I
crying?
finally made it to the ICs. But I've been doing Old World, and I've been very excited about Necromunda. That's where I'm at these days.
And can you talk a bit about Life After the Cover Save?
Now, Life After the Cover Save at one point was the longest running, continuously running Warhammer podcast in the world. We never quite got the respect of our peers. And you know what? That's okay. We took a break for a little while. Now we're back, baby. And I would say that more than ever, that the focus of the show is the game. So, yeah. And, we like to have a good laugh.
Okay. Do you have the questions up, Travis? Okay.
No, was I supposed to?
Okay. No, it's all right. I'll just keep going. I thought if you had them up, you might want to ask a question. All right.
Interject.
Question
I wouldn't even
number
know
one.
where to find them.
It's fine, dude. Question number one.
Well, that was the first question. This is question number 3 on my books.
No. That's just the introduction of the guests. It's all laid out in a format that you might not be able to understand.
No.
Okay. It's detail oriented, and it's good. Question number one. Satire in 40K. In the past, Warhammer 40K was said to be a satire of a lot of things, but mostly fascism, Thatcherite,
Yeah.
Britain, the Cold War, and generally a giant middle finger to the notion that progress is inevitable and always good. Basically, anything and everything a bunch of British nerds living in a crumbling post-industrial north of England in the 1980s would be upset about. Has this changed? Question mark.
I think, okay, definitely. Thatcherism
Can I
was.
finish?
Oh,
Can
sorry.
I finish?
Okay.
Has this changed? Question mark. Is 40K satirizing anything else these days, or have they moved away from its roots here? And is a change, if there is one, good or bad, or are you indifferent to it? You got all three?
Yeah, they'll do what I can do.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So has it changed?
Yeah.
Is 40K satirizing anything else these days? They've moved away from his room. And if there is a change, is it good or bad? Yeah.
Okay. Thatcher's England was a post-industrial hellscape. That's for sure. Around that time, you also saw 2000 AD, the comic book, you got Judge Dredd. So the general air of dystopia in like the creative outputs of the people. I mean, that's where you're getting the Watchmen. Um, so like, yes, I mean, not to tip the political hand too much, but like, yeah, they gutted the country. Um, the satire can still be there, but I don't think the creators of the product now are actively thinking about satire. I think they're actively thinking about how do we make a cool product and sell. Um, the concept of the grim dark doesn't need to be satire at all. Um, the concept of dystopia and like the that progress is crushing humanity. It can still be there, but I don't think it's actively being played with by the people who are doing it now. It's too much. It's too much of a corporate product now, I believe. So
So you think it's a satiristic roots has been gobbled up by corporate
Greed.
procedures.
yeah, and I
Greed.
really think it depends on who you are too, how you're consuming it, because some people consume it and they love it, and not because I mean, there's a reason why they'll put. I mean, the space satire is a weird one anyway.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's very subjective
it's very
too.
subjective, yeah. And the problem is like the people that are producing a satire can be completely different from the audience, and so there could be a complete disconnect about like
I
the
think
satire itself.
I think like Dave Chappelle like ran into that issue. Is one of the reasons he talks about why he took a step back from comedy for a while was because he felt that people were like laughing at the wrong thing
Yeah,
of his sketches and stuff. It's like they were like laughing at the racism instead of laughing at
the
his
racist.
yeah, laughing at his commentary on it.
Yeah,
So yeah, that definitely exists. It's a difficult balance, a
and the thing
juggling
is,
act.
dystopia will always be there. That's the one thing. Um, and I think one thing they have to consider is that the
Well, I heard
dysto
Disneyland actually was going to be replacing dystopia. Oh, that's Autopia. I'm sorry.
autotopia. The thing is that I think about is the dystopia of the Warhammer and the 80s. That was off the heels of like the ray gun aesthetic and the Flash Gordon and the high fantasy, the high science fiction. Um, and then you know, what I mean? And it came crashing down into this dark dystopia. And also, like not too after that, they started producing cyberpunk, which is a very dystopic in the middle 80s. So like it definitely is a product of its place in that time. Thank you, Carl. Great question.
All right, Josh here. I
Hey,
got
Josh.
question two.
Hey,
We're
Josh,
gonna
did you get my
switch.
message about the Necromunda video?
Yeah, I
Okay.
I was offended first off
Okay.
that you would even talk to me. But you know what? Let's
Save that.
offline. Let's save that offline, okay?
Yeah.
Because I do have some things I needed to say about your tamale reference
Hot tamales,
that
baby.
I found particularly offensive. But let's move on to Age of Sigmar, Blake.
Mm.
You know, Age of Sigmar. Uh, they just recently, no, not so recently, eliminated a wide swath of models from its line. In particular, the Stormcast Eternals. Some people who had invested in a bunch of models have now had them removed. For some, this is the first time that anything like this has ever happened. What, Blake, are your thoughts on the removal of large sets of iconic models from a GW game?
You can do everything right and still feel bad.
Uh-huh.
The reason they did it is because they were a victim of their own success.
Too many
Um,
SKUs.
and it wouldn't feel so bad if they didn't find another place for them to go. Like, no one feels bad that Beastmen are no longer part of Age of Sigmar because Beastmen are now inside Old World. So if you don't have a space or a place to use those models, it feels real bad. Or you can do the other thing is say you're going to get rid of an entire line of models, but keep on producing it for the next 10 years and still sell them,
Yeah. So
like the Firstborn.
what about the removal of the Firstborn Marines? How does that compare to what they just did with the Age of Sigmar?
What they did with the AOS was the right way to do it. As bad as they took the Bandit off immediately.
You prefer that over the slow eternal slow removal of the Firstborn over
Yeah.
20
The
or 40
impending doom of the
years.
Firstborn is like the sword of Damocles hanging above their neck. It's
Yeah,
just, when is it going to happen? Is it ever going to happen?
I'm looking at starting some Space Wolves, and I'm noticing, wow, all the Space Wolves are Firstborn still.
Unless you get, because they even but they turn Blood Angels, Primaris Blood Angels, into Death Company. So like some of the Space Marine lines have Primarisized their unique troop types, but they haven't done it with wolves.
I'm sure they will once a Space Wolf book actually comes out.
That's the hope.
The Primaris Death Company have been around for a while now.
Yeah.
But they were just Death Company intercessors, I think. They
Yes,
just had
exactly.
guns. And now they're doing a Death Company that's more
With the
like
jump packs and
traditional
everything. Yeah.
jump packs and swords and stuff. So I think you can take any of the basic stuff and make it your faction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Listen, I haven't built a Space Marine army like ever since second edition, and I was trying to figure it out. And it's like it is a little confusing because like, okay, so there are these units from the from the cards that are Space Wolf specific, but then you could also take almost everything out of the main Space Marine book,
like the Grey Hunters, the Blood Claws,
yeah,
the
the long
Fangs,
things, like those are all there. But it's a little bit confusing. But listen, Jewett, I'm building the Leviathan box first, and then what I think I'll probably do next, because there is that Space Wolf specific combat patrol. I might get that as well, and then that's kind of I'm not saying it's going to be a good army, but it's a core of an army right there, you know. Then maybe add in some tanks and or some wolf riders. But I'm going to be very slow about this. I'm really just going to be focusing on the combat patrol right now because I want to wait for the Space Marine Codex, the Space Wolf Codex to come out, because that's when I'm really going to sink my teeth in and try to do some.
That's when all the models will be.
But Blake,
good question, Josh. Good question, Josh.
Do you think that this sort of move is a necessary evil for miniature games to move forward?
I want to say no, but smaller companies do the same thing.
I mean, if you look at War Machine and Hordes, they specifically have said that, like, oh, we're never gonna discontinue a model, and they're having actually serious issues with stocking all of these old models that no one buys and no one cares about.
Yeah, well, they got bought by another company. Privateer Press went under.
Yeah.
And then I know there was the who was the company? Dark Age. Like, it's easier to manage in a skirmish based system because there's so much less models.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think all companies will do that. It's kind of a nature of the capitalist impulse.
I think unfortunately you just have to do it, or else the game dies, or the company goes under.
I mean, why do you think Privateer Press invested in making painting? because you have to open up multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
You know,
But the difference between the necessary evil, I think, is fine for the firstborn Marines getting switched out because they're made new models for them. Stormcast Eternals is a different story. It's too quick, too recent for them to be doing like, oh, we
Yeah.
made
really
this
is.
models 5 years ago and we need to revamp them. We need to revamp them. They don't have to revamp them.
no, they don't.
So,
But I mean, the premise itself, the basic thing, is inevitable. I think.
for
with
sure.
these companies,
But in that short of a time, I don't think that's
definitely
not,
didn't feel good. Definitely didn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you like the new Stormcast models, Blake? Have you looked at them?
are they the ones that are taller and skinnier,
Yeah.
along with those weird goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What's your thoughts? They're weird, taller and skinnier and weird goblins.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're. I don't know.
This is
I
a
guess
question.
maybe. I guess maybe they look more realistic because the other ones are really squat and wide. Like, bro. These ones, they have
Big
a bit of
beefy.
realism.
Beefy Eternals. Yeah, you know what? I'm just not a fan of AOS.
Yeah.
The aesthetics. There's some things that I like, but on a whole, the game doesn't do it for me.
Wow. I think if they, it's like they stop catering at all to the people who used to play Warhammer Fantasy when they started Age of Sigmar. They still had both, elements of fantasy and the new Age of Sigmar, so you can kind of play the game still because it had some of the feels and a lot of the models at least, so you can still play the models. But then they slowly are like, we're not playing with these models anymore. It's only this new stuff, and that's where it lost me completely.
Yeah, I think it's progressed far enough that it's like, it doesn't. But I mean, that being said, these Blood Knights, that I almost just dropped. I mean, these Blood Knights are technically, I think these sculpts were never made for
Sigmar.
No, I think that they were specifically made for Sigmar. There was like a version of the Blood Knights before this that was made for Warhammer Fantasy, but I think these ones, gosh, you know what? I don't even know.
It's hard to
But
say.
The history of
beautiful. I
the
love
history
them.
of fantasy is so long.
It's so hard.
And the thing is, 40K is long too, but it never had a moment it never had a old world moment.
Yeah,
it never blew up, and so it's harder to track the Warhammer stuff on either side of it because they released a whole bunch of models right as they imploded the old world.
Yeah, the end times. They were releasing models
end
during the end times.
That's true. I wonder if these Blood Knights did come out in end times.
They could have already been started to work on those before Age of Sigmar came out, so that they still are kind of in between Old World and
That's
Age
true.
of Sigmar.
I mean, there's a lot of the undead stuff that I do kind of like, but then a lot of it I really don't like. I don't know. Age of Sigmar is weird for me.
This is my thing. How many more questions we got? Yeah, maybe we should continue with life after.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Okay.
So that was only question 2. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more questions. So
hey guys, why don't you get over to the Patreon, and for $3 a month, you can hear the rest of this episode.
It's actually $6.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, get on the $3 and go look at my hobby table. That's the first thing you got to do.
You can afford $6. That's one cup of coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah, it's just one. You're right, actually.
Just like, don't have a Frappuccino one day of the month, and then you could have us.
2. You get 2 extra episodes.
2 extra episodes, man.
Okay. So question number 3.
Speaking, this is Carl. Speaking of Age of Sigmar, the hashtag new Age of Sigmar is coming soon. Are you already playing AOS? Question mark. If so, what are you looking forward to? If not, does the new edition make you interested in playing? If so, why?
Hey, Carl, great question.
So gather around and join the quest, where stories are the very best. From epic wins to playful games, life after the cover safe, our passion remains. So gather around and join the quest, where stories are the very best. From epic wins to playful games, life after the cover safe, our passion remains. Our passion remains.